Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Survivor Recap. That's right, we're recapping this season of Survivor, Season 41. It's a shortened season. They're not going to give them any food. Everyone's getting hangry. We'll get into it. As you guys probably know, I recap and do commentary on the Bachelor Nation, and I decided to dabble within a different community. During the pandemic, I deep dove into a lot of the old Survivor seasons. No expert, not really an expert, so I'll say something stupid. You guys can Survivor-splain to me if I get something wrong, but I'll watch it just like you guys. We'll talk about it. You can leave a comment below. Do me a favor, like this video and subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and if you enjoy this content and want me to keep on making it, keep on commenting below. Share it with your friends that watch Survivor. Share it in your Survivor group chats or Facebooks or wherever you go. And also, if you just enjoy the conversation, regardless of the topic, and you want more of it, you can go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. That's where I do a weekly behind-the-scenes podcast and also post all of my stand-up comedy videos, at least the ones I want to show you. Not the dive bars, unless something weird happens. All right, so let's get into it. Let's do it right now. Episode 2, like I said, they're not feeding them this season. I thought they didn't feed them every season, but apparently, you know, they live off the rice and coconut shreds or whatever. So now they're on their own. It's a shortened season. I take notes. I read them back to you. No edits, none of that. We'll see what happens. Sometimes I'm redundant. Sometimes we stumble on gold. Sometimes we digress. All right, so we start on day 4. I need a map of the camp because like they're running around. Someone's like, I'm gonna go get water. Then the guy beelines around the other corner, and it's like, it'd be nice if they just had a map like a video game where you can just see like where everyone's running. You got the tall, skinny guy, Brad. He's my early front runner favorite. I like people that try extra hard. He just seems so excited to be there. So he runs around the camp and he like dive bombs behind a bush so he can eavesdrop on other people at a watering hole. He's very skinny to start the show, so we'll have to see how he ends up on this thing, especially if they're not feeding them rice. So yeah, is he overplaying it? Is Brad overplaying it? Do you guys enjoy the people that hustle this hard, or is it just like a little try hard? You know, because there is an aspect to the show that's kind of like, work hard, but don't show that you're working too hard. Look for an idol, but don't let people know. There's a lot of like, you're working hard on the inside, but on the outside, you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to hang out over here. You know, you're just playing it very cool. It reminds me of high school. Play it cool on the outside, and then on the inside, you're like, I made eye contact with the lady. Anyway, Nasir talks about growing up with no water, no electricity, in a river to bathe in, an outhouse with a hole. This isn't fair. Survivor is an upgrade for this guy. He's like, oh, nice. We get a camp. We have fire. This is perfect. He immediately starts a fire in under a minute. He's a contender. My thought with this is, if you're really good at starting fires, don't let people know. If you can start a fire in under a minute, maybe take 15 minutes. You know, maybe don't try to be too good. You want to be useful, but not too useful. You know, that's the name of the show. That's the name of my relationship. Be useful, but not too useful. Xander, the app developer, you know, the white guy with the hipster hair on the side, the app developer finds an advantage in a hollow log, and it's a 3-way shared immunity. Oh, don't you love when they bring some like a new aspect to the show? They literally must have teams of people sifting through audience recommendations. I bet you they get so many bad ideas, but every once in a while they're like, oh, that could work. So here's how it works. You guys know. So it's a 3-way shared immunity. So he only gets the immunity if other tribes, there's 3 tribes, all do the same thing. At the next immunity challenge, he has to say a secret phrase to alert the other tribe that he has an idol. Then the other tribe has to return with their secret phrase. Obviously, Jeff Probst is in on it. It'd be hilarious. It'd be great. Xander tells his close allies, one of which immediately tells the other ladies in the tribe. So that's his biggest problem, is that he's, trusting in people. But it's, it's episode 2. What do you do? So it's a sloppy, they have a sloppy relationships with zero trust. It reminds me of my first girlfriend. Day 5, immunity challenge. Xander says, butterflies are like dead relatives saying hi. And everyone's like, the hell's wrong with this guy? But if anybody on the show could pull off saying butterflies are like dead relatives saying hi, it would be Xander, because he just looks like he's done a little bit too many mushrooms. No other team responds. Bummer. I was looking forward to the code playing. The other code was like, broccolis are just tiny trees. And then what was the third one? Whatever it is, you guys are. It's all funny stuff. My thinking with this is, I always wonder how the producers maybe nudge contestants to go find immunity idols. I've always thought that, but now that we see that the other two teams didn't find their immunity clues, it makes me realize, all right, they probably fully like hands off. But, it would have been fun. If I was a producer, I'd be like, hey, go look in that log over there. You know what I mean? I'd just be nudging it because it would have been fun if they all kind of were in on it. So they're playing for reward, fishing gear for first place and less fishing gear for second place. Is it just me, or does it seem like they never take advantage of the fishing gear? It's almost like the show in the past has provided them just enough food to make them not want to really fish. And I know there's always like one person who's good at fishing, but then they literally find Nemo, and they're splitting Nemo 8 ways. Just once I want to see someone set up a net and they catch a school of fish, and they're literally going into the next challenge full. They're just got like too much fish. They're just like, ugh, sushi again. All right, so they do the water relay. They got to swim under this, climb onto that, balance beam this, the whole shebang. There's only so many ways you can skin a cat. Is that a saying? So poor Tiffany. Tiffany is a barnacle on their ship of progress. Really bad. She just gets gassed, and she's just sitting on the balance beam. Look, I don't know what I would do on this show if you get gassed, but you know how it is. They're just, the whole team's waiting on her like, run, Tiffany, run. Even Jeff Probst is yelling at her. Jeff Probst loses his voice yelling at Tiffany. He's like, come on, get up. What are you doing? Lulu wins immunity, second immunity to Ua. Am I pronouncing that right? Tiffany's team loses. She has to be a target. You know why she's a target? Because I know her name, and I don't know anyone else's name. I know Xander's and Tiffany's. That's it. So she's clearly a target. She was the weakest link. Goodbye. Jeff Probst the next day sounds like a mob boss. You just never heard his voice blown out like that. He's like, all right, on the next immunity challenge. It's like, boy, Jeff, you know what I mean? Hey, he took a year and a half off. He hasn't had to yell at all. That's a long pandemic vacation for him. He obviously didn't stretch his vocal cords while he was off duty. If I were Jeff Probst, I'd be yelling at my kids as they're doing their chores, just to like keep it going. I'd be like, come on, Samantha, move faster. Do the laundry. It's not going to fold itself. Let's go. Move. You know what I mean? Yace, am I pronouncing that right? Yace is back at camp scrambling, the yellow team. Tiffany is back at the tribe saying, Tiffany's like writing it off. Like she clearly was the disaster of the event, right? But she's like, maybe I cost the team a minute or 2 or 3. It's like, yeah, you cost them a lot. You cost them fishing gear. The women want to do an all-girls thing and blindside Xander, which, of course, everyone's like, is this the right move? Xander's clearly the most athletic on the team, and the team, you don't want them to keep losing challenges, but also their theory was, well, we might switch teams tomorrow, so, like, who cares? Let's keep our own alliance. Evie and Deshawn do the hike where they swap secrets. That's kind of a fun thing. They get to decide if they're going to risk their vote or whatever. Sometimes the show, it makes you wonder for like new people watching, are there too many gags going on? There's a lot you need to know here. But then again, the show has evolved so much where you can't just put people on the beach and talk strategy the whole day. You got to throw new immunities and immunity busters and whatever the case, all these different things. So she plans on blindsiding Xander. Xander also, his immunity his vote can't kick in until the immunity does. So I guess in future episodes, he's going to maybe keep saying his code, or maybe he doesn't have to say his code again, but the other teams have to say their code back, and then it'll work. We'll have to see. But obviously, so Evie already told Deshawn about the code. So it's almost like every team's going to know about this code, and it won't be a secret anymore. So Tiffany starts to panic, thinking that Xander's idol does work. As we know, it doesn't work because they didn't fulfill the 3-way messaging that needed to happen. But she's like, maybe it works. Let's vote for someone else. So they do the tribal council. Dr. Voce gets voted out, all because Tiffany was worried that Xander had an idol. Now, let me ask you guys this. Are we spoiled with so much content that, like, this is the first season I'm watching on a week-to-week basis? I've watched the last 20-plus seasons during the pandemic where I could watch 5 episodes at a time, especially if you watch the ones on the Paramount Network. I paid like an extra couple bucks a month for no commercials. It makes it brutal watching this show on terrestrial network TV. What do you guys think about that? I mean, on one hand, I can't wait for the season to be over for him to be recapping this. But on the other hand, you have a 60-minute TV show, which is really about 42 minutes long with commercials, and not much happens every week. Now, I've got faith that we're going to get invested in certain characters. There's going to be come from behind stories and deceit, all that stuff. I have faith that I'm going to love this show at the end. But as it stands right now, I'm like, I don't know. Like if like other things came up on my Wednesday nights, I'd be like, all right, whatever. It's like, so what I'm trying to say is it isn't must-see TV for me yet. You might comment, oh, Dave, you're not a true fan then. No, I think I'm just spoiled by modern media. When this show started 41 seasons ago, you turn the TV on at 8 o'clock at night. Maybe you watch Wheel of Fortune before, whatever the hell you do, and that was it. And now, I mean, how spoiled are we? I have Netflix, Paramount, Hulu, HBO, Showtime, Stars. I can't possibly, if they never make another TV show, I think I'm set for life. I really do. But I love that Survivor's back. What my point is, I'm spoiled and I'm drained. I wish I could stack these episodes up, but that will take away the water cooler aspect, which is us talking about it right now. So do me a favor, you guys, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Go to my Instagram at DNeals. I'll have stand-up show updates. I'm hosting in Ventura County, California this weekend. I'm going to be in New York after end of November. And I've got some other shows. Starting to plan some shows in Napa Valley. We might do an amphitheater, like a small outdoor amphitheater at a brewery in Napa Valley. Wouldn't that be fun? So what you want to do is follow me on Instagram at DNeals and join the Facebook community, Dave Neal's Community. That's where I'll be posting all the updates. You can discuss. We'll do a Survivor thread today. So if anyone wants to discuss Survivor, we can discuss it over there. And of course, if you want to just support me, also you can go to patreon.com/Dave Neal, or at the end of this video, there's a Venmo and Cash App and PayPal if you want to support that way. I just appreciate you guys watching. In the very least, hit the like button, leave a comment below, and we will see you next week. Bye, hold on, I got to put the thing. Bye, everybody.
How are you? Travis spoke.